The prerequisite quests to hunting down your Kuva Lich are the War Within and the Call of the Tempestari. To prepare to fight your Lich, you want to play on public and play some Kuva Siphons. Kuva Siphons are a special mission that reward Requiem relics. Ordinary Kuva Siphons have only a chance at rewarding a Requiem relic at the end of the mission. However, a Kuva Flood has a guaranteed chance of rewarding a Requiem relic. So here I'll be playing a mission, just to show you how Kuva Siphons work. First, you want to find the Kuva Siphon. It'll spawn in a random place on the map, and your icon will pop up to show you where the Kuva Siphon is when you get close enough. Now you have to go into your operator to use transference. To kill the Kuva Guardians, you have to void dash into them, and then they become vulnerable afterwards. So you'll see one of the little parades of the Kuva Siphon will lift, and they'll point in the direction a Kuva Cloud is coming. When a Kuva Cloud comes, you want to go into your operator form. You can either void dash through it or just shoot it. And you do that 4 times. So the mission can be very quick if you memorize where these little Kuva Clouds end up spawning. Sometimes they can spawn very, very close to the Kuva Siphon, so you have to be a little prepared for that. Like in this area here. The Kuva Cloud is about to spawn in that corner. That takes about 2 seconds to get to the Kuva Siphon, and if you lose, or if too many Kuva Clouds get to the Kuva Siphon, you fail the siphon. When you're done the mission, head to Extraction. At the end of the mission, you'll be rewarded a Requiem relic. Then, you want to play Requiem Fishers to open up the Requiem relics. This is how you obtain the Requiem mods required to kill your Lich. Do not upgrade your Requiem relics. In the Requiem Fisher, you want to collect 10 Void Traces in order to open the relic. When you finish the mission, head to Extraction. When a Requiem mod appears, you want to choose that. Your goal is to obtain at least one of each of the 8 Requiem mods. And then there's Ull. You can buy that with Platinum from other players, or it drops from your Lich with a 25% chance. If you have any extra Requiem mods, you can sell them and then buy other Requiem mods with Platinum. Mods tend to sell for about 15 to 20 Platinum. Next is Progenitors. A Progenitor is a Warframe associated with an element. Depending on the Warframe you use to spawn your Lich, a certain element associated with that Warframe will be put on the weapon as a weapon bonus. You can Google Progenitor Warframe to figure out what your Kuva Lich Progenitor will be. So I'm choosing Ivara as a Progenitor Warframe, because people usually like toxin on their weapons. Then I'm switching to solo, so I can spawn my Kuva larvaling in peace without any obstructions or bad things happening. Cassini is a Grenier capture mission that's level 20 or above. Kuva Lich larvaling can only spawn on missions level 20 and above. So I capture the target, and soon after the lights start flickering. After the lights flicker, you have 1 minute to kill enough enemies in order to spawn your Lich larvaling. The larvaling spawns, and I'm going to take a look at it for a second. By looking at the larvaling, you can actually tell its gender. This is what a female Lich's larvaling looks like. So if you kill it, you would spawn a female Lich. You can down the larvaling, and a weapon will appear above its head. If you don't want the weapon, just leave the mission by going to Extraction, and that will take the weapon out of rotation. Don't leave the mission prematurely. If you do, the weapon will remain in rotation and you'll end up getting it multiple times over again. It could take a couple of tries to get the weapon you want. So I capture the target, wait for the lights to flicker, and then kill as many enemies as I possibly can. The larvaling will spawn. The larvaling I've come across here is a male, and this is what male larvalings look like. They will spawn a male Kuva Lich. It shows the Kuvas are, and I want a Lich with that weapon, so I stab it. Then I head to extraction. After getting back to your orbiter, your Lich will spawn.
Your toxin. Imagine if a hangover could kill you. Now, imagine that hangover is a person. Surprise! It's me and I'm going to kill you.
Then you can click on the banner with the Lich symbol to check out your Lich's profile. He has a rage meter. Filling the rage meter increases the chances of your Lich spawning in a Lich mission. He has weaknesses, resistances, and immunities. A weapon bonus, his birthplace, and the Progenitor Warframe. The maximum percentage you can get is 60%. Liches with weapons 55% and higher can sell for 300 platinum. The lowest percent you can get is 25. Liches have a 20% chance of spawning with an ephemera. If yours spawns with an ephemera, you can sell it for 200 platinum. This one spawned with a quirk, and a quirk is just a personality. You can trade Liches at the Crimson Branch in your dojo. Now we can talk about the Requiem mods. Slap 3 of any Requiem mods onto your Parazon. These mods will be used to kill your Lich. If you happen to have Ul, put Ul in the first slot on your Parazon. Ul is a wildcard Requiem mod. The mods read left to right. Make sure you're on public when you go to attempt Lich missions. Play the shorter missions first. The reason you do that is so you can fill the rage meter of the Lich. So when you go to play on a longer mission, the Lich has a higher chance of spawning on that longer mission. Thralls will spawn as you progress through the mission and as you kill enemies. This is what a thrall looks like. They kind of glow blue and have a waypoint on them. Stabbing thralls give you murmurs. Filling the murmur meter will reveal the next Requiem mod you need to kill your Lich. Thralls have a 5% chance of dropping a Requiem relic. Play the missions normally with the exception of thralls, and eventually your Lich will spawn and you can fight it. Killing thralls is what fills the rage meter. This gets your Lich to spawn. Now that my Lich has spawned in my mission, I can fight it. By fighting it, I get to test if the combination of my Requiem mods is correct. I get Ul correct because Ul is a mod that's always correct. But I test the other mod and it is incorrect. My Lich levels up and becomes stronger. However, it gives me more murmurs than any thrall could ever give. As a result, my murmur meter maxes out. After going back to extraction, and after getting back to my ship, a Requiem mod required in the combination is revealed to me. The revealed Requiem mod appears at the bottom right. My Lich's rage meter resets. I can see it's now level 2. I can see a list of my attempts on the right side of the screen. I can see the Requiem mods I currently have equipped. And at the bottom right, I can click on Modify Parazon. I put the revealed mod in the middle of the combination. When a Lich levels up, it moves planets. A level 2 Lich goes to Mars. Play missions beginning with the short missions, and then move on to the longer missions when you want your Lich to spawn. Sometimes your Lich will spawn earlier than that. The more missions you play, the more thralls you kill, the higher the rage meter gets. My Lich spawns in my mission, and I get to try my new combination. I get it wrong. My Lich levels up. Everyone in my team gets murmurs. And I learn the revealed Requiem mod does not go in the middle slot. I go to extraction, look at my Lich's profile, and I can point out a few things. Rage meter reset. It leveled up and is now on a different planet. The mod is in the wrong spot, so I go modify my Parazon. My revealed Requiem mod's in the wrong spot, and I don't know the second Requiem mod, so I place Uhl in the middle and the revealed Requiem mod in the front. A level 3 Lich goes to Ceres. I play the fast missions first. His rage meter went up, and I almost know my second Requiem. In this mission, my second Requiem gets revealed. Now I know Zata has to go in the combination. I see I got the first Requiem wrong, so I know it either goes in the first or the last slot. Still don't know which slot the second Requiem goes in, so I make a choice to switch things around. In hopes of getting my Lich to spawn, I now play a longer mission. I want the Lich to spawn so I can test the combination. So my Lich spawns. Now let's see what happens. I get the combination wrong, my Lich levels up, moves planets, but everyone in my squad gets murmurs, and I now have information. The second Requiem does not go in the middle. Since the second Requiem and the first Requiem do not go in the middle, I have a 50% chance of getting the combination right. The second one could go in the first slot or the last slot. The first Requiem can go in the first slot or the last slot. I move Uhl to the middle, because I don't know the third Requiem. Now I move from Ceres to Sedna because my Lich leveled up. I play another quick mission. And it gets my murmur meter almost full, for the third and last time. After this next quick mission, I will know the third Requiem mod goes in the middle. My murmur meter fills, and I finish the mission. So Vohm was the last one. I wouldn't have guessed. Now I can confidently say that Vohm goes in the middle. I don't need Uhl anymore. I want my Lich to spawn, so I play a long mission. Good, he spawned. Now I can check if my combination is correct. I have a 50% chance of it being correct. The stabbing bugged, and the combination was incorrect. But the next time I go to stab him, I have a 100% chance of the combination being correct. Since I know the second Requiem does not go in the first slot, I will now move it to the last slot, and move the first Requiem to the first slot. Now I have a 100% chance of getting the combination right. My Lich is now level 5 and at the Kuva Fortress. Although thralls no longer give me murmurs, they do still fill the rage meter. Because I don't want to use any more time, I can use something called a Requiem ultimatum. It spawns your Lich. Sure enough, I got the combination correct. After getting the correct combination, the Lich flees to railjack. I put Ool in the first slot, and 2 random Requiem mods in the other 2 slots. I got the combination wrong, but in doing so learned the first Requiem mod. I put that in the middle. I got that wrong as well. Then I wanted to try it in the first slot. The second Requiem word was revealed to me. I put Ool back in the first slot, the first Requiem mod into the last slot, and the second Requiem word into the middle slot. I got that wrong. Since the first 2 Requiem mods did not go in the middle slot, I now know that the third unknown Requiem mod goes in the middle slot, so I place Ool in the middle. This gives me a 50% chance of getting the sequence correct. Then the third Requiem word is revealed to be Voam. So I put Voam in the middle and discard Ool. With a 50% chance to succeed the combination, I still fail. Now I put the first revealed Requiem mod into the first slot. This gives me a 100% chance to succeed. I found the correct combination. Now that the Lich has fled to railjack, I'm going to go chase it down. You don't need Requiem mods in the final confrontation. So, first thing I do is hop in the pilot seat and move forward a little bit. Then I go into my operator. Since I'm using Xenaric, I use the Xenaric ability to regenerate energy. Then, when my energy's high enough, I push 3 and kill off all the ships around me. Then I position the railjack behind the cruise ships I need to kill. The reason I do this is to give me a nice shot with the artillery at the glowing part of the engine. Shooting the engine in the glowing part does a lot more damage. Keep the engines from turning off by only shooting them with the artillery. After destroying the 3 cruise ships and killing off the fodder enemies, I head to a galleon, which is where my Lich is. You can hold shift to toggle boost. Press L to fast travel in the railjack. Enter the galleon. Confront your Lich. After downing your Lich, you get 2 options, Convert and Vanquish. Convert makes your Lich tradable. If it has an ephemera, you get the ephemera, and the Lich also keeps the ephemera for you to trade. Vanquishing your Lich kills your Lich, so it isn't tradable, but you get its weapon.
A smart choice, worm. Friend.
You can use the Omni tool to immediately teleport to your railjack.
Galleon Captain down. Support clear. Closing mission dossier.
All the things your Lich stole from you gets returned. After you return to your orbiter, you get a message. If my Lich had an ephemera, then it would appear in this message. Because he didn't, nothing appears. However, if you vanquish your Lich, the message is different.
Our affair is concluded. For now.
You get the Lich's weapon. You can claim it in your foundry. Then you can do something called Valence Fusion. Valence Fusion is when you can combine two of the same Lich weapons. Combining them gives them a higher weapon bonus percentage. When attempting Valence Fusion, you want to equip the weapon that you want to keep. For example, this Kuva Lich has 5 formers in, 2 adapters, and an Orokin Catalyst. This Kuva Lich has nothing invested in it. To do Valence Fusion, click Actions, then Valence Fusion. Choose the weapon you'd like to fuse. If the 2 weapons have different elements, this will pop up. You can choose which element to keep. Then the game tells you the result of combining the 2 weapons, and asks you to type fuse. In doing so, you fuse the 2 weapons. This is my Banshee build. Equip Sonic Fracture when fighting Sisters to Armor Strip. You can't Armor Strip Kuva Liches. This is my Panzer Volpa Phyla build. This is Marta Symbiosis, Tech Assault, and Panzer De-Evolution work together to make you invincible on death. 60% chance of that. Banshee's Sonar makes enemies take a lot more damage when hitting them in the weak spots. Silence temporarily incapacitates your enemies. Combine Silence with Gloom and you got a good deal. Don't mess up or the gods of abstinence will pillage your refrigerator. You can select 4 defiled Requiem mods to transmute into 1 fully charged Requiem mod. Lich weapons can level up to level 40. They require 1 former per 2 levels after reaching level 30.